They say Ghana force Okatakyie, Wabin, Okatakyie, Okanya System, Okatakyie. Meaning say, in the course of my journey as a media person, some of the things I did not get them right. That is what makes me human being. Very fallible.
Exactly.
But I cannot continue to be doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. And for that matter, there is a new change. Be biaba from resetting, Papa.
For the rebels. And the year resetting. More fire.
Okay. Go into the Abasha, a cutting reason. Modibaba, near Dinkomo. Ye Swa, ye betting Como. Some of the issues are yet to my more, ye trivializing. Ye serious nation. Na ni yebehwe nkomobi say ye were a certain president na oko official duty na ne brother yes so called brother wo sikanti ne brother na air driving family and friends repackage the optics. I keep on advising politicians but they won't listen. So the optics say commander in chief of the republic na only yet the asset of the nation na oko baby na ne brother na air driving and so nkrofo and we won't look at it from the lens of politics, but the nationalistic view towards Nyomasa. Why? You be say Marantiane Maba one, cocaine, nobody, drugsy, red, you know. Yeah,
they say they are not doing.
You and you are.
Oh,
there be. You are the chanchan, you have a bonamania. Such chanchan, no, you can't. Ashikili. Ye wian so akofi ye be hwe say ye general next one ye JJ Rollins nsem no obisi eguso ni yesi ya be ye democracy in a democratic dispensation na si eguso a celebrate ye June 4th revolution dia Samo celebrate June 4th and ye be ma mranche ne ho June 4th ni de si ye if says ye nyina ya dia tum si ye koyechi ni apepa ho na afi ya to aso as a nation ye ntimi mankrofo capitalize on nneoma bi no more white washing eti urban sumani babin so wo probi de ben ya ka chance say probi no fa so bi ani so se meme ne no and can make use of this opportunity to call for national unity, reconcile the nation towards a proper course. But the person of white washing the party, ni history or see JB down quite traitor and normal. Then so JJ Rollins ye medra de enkonko hwim. And ye besa kire enya me na maker. Kufoba ye wo institute National Reconciliation Committee and the except of the committee report no ha ye behwe.
More fire.
When him say JJ Rollins ba you could and your man were in 1980s, yes, setting up special investigative board. So we investigating a JJ Rollins in the killings. The report of the special investigative board, and your man were can be our and no sense you ever so special investigative board no a report no anyway. And your man we are fact and figures. You be showing I we know a 60 something page. We are open or send no number before them. When you say Wenty, almost Ghana publishing, such special investigative body, almost Ghana publishing, they didn't want this report to go out. And yes, and I have a copy of it, a full copy of it. It's you bet you Hong Kong. We are share a year Captain Adebuga. I want to JJ Rollins here cool. No, no boy JJ ye cool no, a communipa my JJ, or one and no more say. Our Kaye. You're winning in Anua. I lead you at Diana to no JJ Rollins will come will be. Well, communipa. Now, our background one in a year secretary, in a secretary war, a year a castle honor. Wabani didn't know who ye. I'm working a moko to one papa fee. Nina ye beka. Captain and Krabby father. If we be okrom ha winim jeja obi anim na channel. Is one in the kwachi mota. We flew on in the military. And someone what can for jeje hu nyina ye beka. Why? Yabama ma for ne ho.
What the files so by.
Me the files so. Me chire ni nyina. Ni ewie ni nyina akofi. Na afi ya hwese. So omo si ye nyina ye fantu echi a. Ye fantu echi. Na mom so obi try so be whitewash the party history. Na akoye say June 4th revolution ni akoso da bi. Ye wie so a. Afi the last topic amanfo ne bebre no apeti. Wombete. Kofi ye to oman mu. Ye si akekere man. At no point should we accept certain behaviors. At no point should we accept a body shaming of women. At no point should we accept abusing of people's families. Or in the name of say yes, you fighting for nation. And you better digest it. Yes, you branch bi. Amatela. I what here the year. And you may be a wine over the years. Na manfo ni hu. Ye be bia ni ama manfo ne hu. And I'm saying yes, civilized this thing. We will try as much as possible not to use vituperative words like he does, but we will still speak sense to his hearing. You be Kenyans out to it. Say we show, say me show, and you know here. If say you are kola na adwene so champani, and you open here wusha. It is when you near, when you yo, ukasa, wadwene, and a chere, and you fear wadi. And then you change your buy your mama more, a masikadia tatu kumo, esha lane shirt in a chere. And you bet you nina. Why? More fire. Nina. More fire. In Sri Lanka, more fire. Oko Ghana Records on Sua, GhanaRecords.com. Yeah, and your money be go. Monkonko Kaibi. Stories in Nina. More fire. Monkonko Kaibi. More fire. General. Enko 4 frame. Nakadechi. You better support the show. No. You better support the show. Me nim the person who the support the show. When you person with this support, get access. Maybe I'm not on a mass. That is not my aim. My aim is to get my message across, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And now your World Women's Day. Kobi, eti MBA nuanom ma, ya ma menom, ayetimi dem betina ho, ni yeka, alata box, ni yeka, obabema, Italian money box. We celebrate you. Mama Joyce Ayi. You celebrate you. And Ma Kukudam. We cry here can and I couldn't do Ajima Rollins. You celebrate you. Tell me what I say. First Lady Lordina Mahama. You celebrate you. Former First Lady. Mrs. Akufuado. You celebrate you. Former Second Lady. Samira Baumia. You celebrate you. Vice President, Yamame, Jena no, you celebrate you. World Women's Day, Obia, indiscriminatory, indiscriminatory. Why? It's Munina. Obi, MPP former Nina, MPP former Nina, and this is François Gas, no more film in Munina, more moon film in the Ambet Mia train. Obi, a girl gas for me, a yadame, papa. We are butchering for money, so let me trim yam there. Never some one more swing. I'm chilling between my power. Yea, Mahuna Money, Afrifa, Mahuna Money, and so make us one mushroom. Why? I was ya, and your mouth for the soon or mobile major. When you had that, never before no more kwa. As I don't saba cocono. Now the bacon soup piano. If some more quest is sebi previous, and we are do more good them near the Quadubuna Sensual. O qua near Chumba, near no woku. That's my quamo, what is I told them the income cacra, Smaquamo. Baby, young chassis, cutting razor, a general, or hinny, a general numcrum. Oh, Henny, Aday, oh, Henny, General, Nana Cabaso says Runana. Oh, Debbie, Nana Okatakyie, oh, Henny, can't sit down. Kababia will come the greater. How many minutes into the show and how many views? Yeah, I say 8.1K 20 minutes. Wow, yeah, Ghana, thank you. But Mungo soon share. General, I didn't walk room. But before that, Kofi, what's the end and right? Adia, Saday, Adiana, Aday. Sadia Nancy. Highway Bay. Kanda Highway. No, I'm saying, No, I'm saying. It's one school now. One could be trotro no one. Na unim highway. Na kanda highway say one anana.
Na fe dem kwati om se dem da be kanda de no.
E de ya.
No, afidin 10 times so.
Supersonic highway.
Na de ala ko so.
No, I'm saying dia na esi wo ho. No, I'm saying bibia si. Ani a train. General, for getting razor bra.
Oh, he
hey, Ediani.
We are Taniata.
Hey, na e fra ko bi trouble Carlos. Trouble Carlos or sound bi o ye. Who be you?
We dey o hini
Ataniata. Kenkenka. Tafuo mo jaduro.
Kenkenka.
Aya bi aya no bi right. Adedia na si.
So hini. Independence Day. Nija yeso ye TV ko he ya. Ataniata ni sisu.
Ataniata.
Omisiso.
Omisiso. Se no mo hwe o fugu pa.
Aso
we same.
I'm saying the same. Okay, so the two favorite people of mine. We Ura Julius Debra. Despite the fact that he is still a favorite person of mine. Adeba ko ya many G we are sepa. When I say me ware no te ho. E buo a o de ma menti. Even whatever has happened, it should happen a little bit. Nemo no a general so another film papa of mine.
The feeling brother.
Now Angrofoni kase. Say the race okopano yakwa wi Americano, Yetwi, Nankunim about train a bobo. Neither no me and Nina Shad. Now we'll be commono. Now, almost spiritual father in Baba. Was it? The purpose. Tisha will when a bachelor will be the president. We should a bachelor. It will be our children pants who showed the Chiano collar. No general Suchi and your call right. No, I'm the quarter now. Now, my former boss, minimum kakra. It means the body language kakra. When you're comfortable with be a minimum. I
know a month for
when you're comfortable. So we per president. San no more can domi market. Aboso kind na. And I'm so we so pe biadi. Oh, nana you catching reserve Fabra ni enchire mo. Daniel you were NDC ni. Enti my former boss no mo yes one sedun ketia e se kura ba ne se frugo ombesha no mo compete enti yi ba ko na mi ba ko sa Ataniata ebe di 2024
timpe no mu di si
ebe brutal Fanta brutal Obi General eti Ataniata la dia ba wo de wonyo manfo na ka manfo is mo ha dwi yo any our first topic no aye ko ne ya Mosi ya de Ibrahim Mahama okay yen hwe video bi your friend say Daniel and e obeya adwuma bi ama ya quick mesere modaroma hwa na mo amanke kama adwan kire mo na Danny
I'm TV job mo de na so mo hwe ha
on behwe ni nyina so go bi on a more serious note where Ibrahim Mahama Daniel ko wachi kakra na yenhwe gina ya dabi gina ha babia the seal of the president ebo e car ne ho so Ibrahim Mahama ni and a president of the republic John Dramani Mahama oko official duty to baby a flood nesi wo eye voter region first year gina ha na surprisingly obi president ni si ye no Ibrahim Mahama Anana air driving the presidential car. That is a beautiful question. And you see, Ghana for been any more. So we discuss issues on political lines. So it's not even no more about the safety of the president. It is no more about the president being a national asset, and for that matter, your brother cannot be doing these things.
Exactly so.
When you are president of the Republic of America, Federal Republic of America. One can say man drive or personal man drive. And then Ibrahim Mahama and they're driving the president of the republic in an official car. Now question you must say Ibrahim Mahama or can a official protection guide or protection force of the president accident on count. Yebusa question say Ibrahim Mahama or can national security detail of the president ana assistance na obi anka nkyere say Ibrahim Mahama a part of the presidential guide or presidential force obi anka nkyere say Ibrahim Mahama a part of national security detail of the president obi anka nkyere say Ibrahim Mahama you can the chauffeur the national chauffeur because you are driving president or you well trained chauffeur you can chauffeur president you are driving no. And they say Ibrahim Mahama, and you see chauffeurs, you were more than 1, 2, 3 for the president. So at every given point, there is a chauffeur of the nation that is supposed to drive the president of the republic.
Exactly.
And you didn't see. I didn't see. The president of the Republic of Ghana. The brother and a driver and way me was a comment in the year and a very humble brother, very humble rich man. How my baby? Say Ibrahim Mahama president a baby. No person would deep a year convoy next year. And you're right. In any other civilized jurisdiction, we don't do that. By normalizing, exactly. It is what we saw the convoy next year. Fire, but, sir, to drive the president of the republic in a presidential car, and the people don't see anything wrong with it. Precisely. The president you move here, the security detail, even convoy, every car that is supposed to be in the convoy, national security is supposed to have a detail of it. It is all quiet. There is the motorcade of the president. Our president in the motorcade, a bit but say arrowhead. Omuya miansana omudianimu. Omuya advanced motorcade. I didn't see. Show run. Show no one for run. No crime. I need to know which voice. I go be. Saturday diano. GBC diano. Go be. It's motorcade ni bedi kaba. Now, if you are not advanced a party riders in Swaba, president party riders, and sana state protocol, either say 1 or 2 cars aba, and sana the president's secretary aba. Now, if you are the police or the military, the arrangement of a civilized societies, because president Movia, a threat is behind the back. Precisely so. It's your funny security in Niagara. It's before so people got president came, so on their driving. The person must be a well-trained chauffeur of the state. I would me dictate even security threat to be bad with me dictate. How did we get here? Say Ibrahim Mahama no your brother young country say or no the chauffeur of the president or no the president in the car more drive. Yana president per se Ibrahim Mahama joining one car more. No problem. President in bet me at actually. Now Ibrahim Mahama joining actually. Now president in Eddie camp at the front at every given point. The Eddie camp must be in front. Osha, one of the Eddie Camp, no, Ibrahim Ibrahim see no see. How did we get here? And we complain about friends and family. Your mama saw reset it. When you reset, no, the optics. When you reset, no. And it is not about Ibrahim Mahama when Nisika na when Nisika. It is not about Ibrahim Mahama when humble and now humble. It is about the right practices of a civilized societies.
Precisely so.
Call. And then you do her. Obakai president for accident to you are normalizing your maybe. When you say president in a kwa, Neka na see you nebo anymore. You will me no baku ya decoy. And a president said, but yeah, in case somebody wants to even attack, and also Moko Drew baby, that's a president, a car say and a bibia. You want another one looking like the president own, which he will sit in. Exactly. Until we take all these precautions to safeguard the president. More often than not, Kobe, say, President Sebano, instead of don't forget, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Precisely. To be a commander-in-chief of the armed forces, it's not a joke. For your brother to be driving you, it is not a joke. Precisely. You are reducing the bar. You are bringing the bar very low. Commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And today your brother is the one that drives you on official duty. And then I'm and nobody sees anything wrong with it. President go 4 time. One or say be or money accident or a year your pebia. Because now you normalize say President Ekwa yet me man crofo di actually. Ordinarily, sa party boys no it's not even right. Kofi, do you know that even a president in Memuvia, I have a presidential convoys across the world. Who's even red car who's a white car who's a green car no lighted car near money won't because of security reasons.
Precisely so.
And then they reduce the bar solo, say President Mahama and driving when he's going on official duty. As what? The aide de camp. As what? Yabeka chere. Say Ibrahim Mahama and Oye the chauffeur of the president ana. Atia ba no. Eti me ya to anum. Eti maban masesan niam na maban masesan. To ayi nim to sa we nim. Obi. Maban masesan niam na we research ni. Adia ba no. Adia ne ye ntantantan sa. Obi. Under no circumstance should the president be allowed. And your matan say, and I know nay and about our Kenya and Badi official and they Ninia. And the Ghanaian people don't see anything wrong with it because you see Ibrahim Mahama Whiska. It is not about Whiska now, Whiska. But any serious jurisdiction, we don't do this. You can't do it.
Exactly.
Even Wankasa, President of America, Yama won't drive it. Even when you are done with your service, you will not be allowed to drive.
Exactly. So,
for security reasons.
Asset to the nation.
Asset to the nation. Now be President of the Republic. That is how come the moment you better be security yes sano na national security take over. A good yes concert sir. We trivialize issues in this country for nothing. So, you're right. And you're right too. And you're right. We should not normalize it.
Exactly.
And you're right anywhere. Nowhere. President go 4 times. How you am normalizing a money accident or pebia? Because I was a guy, because he felt entitled to say, President convoy qua, that is how come a president convoy or this speed President. Because when you do that, and you train securities of the president, they think it's a threat. But Nigeria can't come shoot you. What I say? Say Ibrahim, your president, brother. It is one in a mem with him who is can't me and the
president,
the family and friends in your bini. The president, even it's a president, a year on one private function. He cannot be allowed. Mr. President, this is your wish, but we cannot allow you. That is how serious nations they do.
Exactly.
By the idea, you didn't know by your good year. You better the shirt, your channel, or you're humble, no driving a brother. You didn't know. How did we get here? You're normalizing your matan time. It's your Nagabi, I couldn't driving a muya. Tikambayoki. In politics, optics is as important, perception is as important as the reality.
Precisely so.
You know, in politics, it is not just about the reality. So President say Ibrahim Mahama ben na momemu. Oh, no 2 ways about it. We know. Obabo yenim so ben na momemu. Yenim ni nyina. But at the end of the day, obane ni na momemu akofi. Must the people see it? So brother ni yenim deda it is trite knowledge. So brother Emmanuel Ibrahim obene na mamemu appoint bisa. But must the people see it? Optics.
Precisely.
More fire.
Na president akoya party. No ama cameras nyina ankoda baabi. Ni atwa ne dem. Yenim say president obaji wani. But for the good of the people, the optics.
More fire.
Tina ku fado ne hoyam ngwa santa nyama oye. Yetimi de be 100 cars. What is that? Every car of the president when he's moving, national security is supposed to take details of the car before he moves. Concert here. Official capacity of Ibrahim Mahama. And we have the state. Yakase state go finya gudi o. Yakase state here. Enya gudi. You can say constitutional governance, government, with you.
Precisely.
So we cannot even envelop the state from family. We cannot draw the line between the state and the people. We cannot draw the line between state and friends.
More fire. More fire.
So the work of the state, armed forces, also president. The Air Force is supposed to be driving the president. And Ibrahim Mama and Yapiana, anyway, we in a reset now. And they've treated as if it's an issue. Why? We reduce governance to its barest minimum. The kind of governance we reduce to.
More fire.
We in a reset now.
More fire.
Maka mupa muntie mupa muntie and won say no omudi me video bi ana me bro you can ofori atane kufu adu bia no omo NDC for ne share na ti mo adwene ye adwumani e di se mo share dia na che se kufu adu kura man fa nche no na dwama wa na me de che no mo abobo adam wana munya abotre we ye season 1 episode 7 in episode 7 kura na mo hopui hey adai sure emusi anya papa sure nenye sumu betete otitidi ese edu sen 9.2 4 mo de munko why ne mbebu no Ibrahim Mama you don't have any business driving your brother. You don't have any business in Tuabama. Who yes can you atena one you say yenim so ya dan ya obey didi aban ni mu ube control aban no but let it not be in our faces. We don't care. Let us have our peace. Unsua dia kakra. Ti wade na wo ye no. Does it sit well in any proper governance structure? Say president of the republic come and the brother and driving. Are you people okay? What is that? We reduce our governance to the lowest. More fire. And nobody sees anything wrong with it. Because it's being done by Ibrahim. So if you wanted to come and continue what the Kufuado did, what was there the need for us to sack them? The same thing. The justification is that the Kufuado by you guys are going to do exactly the same. What was the need for us to sack them then?
More fire.
What kind of come on, you guys should stop it. Ibrahim Mama was kind of here, dear baby.
Not driver for NASA.
Driver for us. President were no less than 3 chauffeurs.
More fire.
So the practice has been that ordinarily, president private driver is not supposed to be driving him.
Precisely.
But from Tamils, what they do is that they enroll Omwankasa private drivers into the service. So if you think Ibrahim Mama is the one supposed to be driving him, let us know. Enroll him onto the service as your chauffeur.
Precisely.
Then we can have official record saying that Ibrahim Mama is the new chauffeur of the president.
More fire.
Ibra chauffeur. And also dear na ya ye say. E din tutu. Ibra chauffeur.
So ne kam
chauffeur.
O de re.
ne kam mu no ho.
Ye ne kam mu no
As driver na ya.
As driver. Ibra chauffeur. Yeah. Oh my serious issues. No I na trip. Ibra chauffeur say. Ibra chauffeur. Ibrahim Ahmed no.
Ibrahim driver.
Ibrahim driver. Also the no man. It's on. Okone ni mabrabu. Etu. Oye. Nisika oye nyina ompe. O president driver. Ti Ibra chauffeur. Ana Ibrahim driver.
More fire.
Oh, mama me ni mo from asem go vi mo woni genu mo from asem ko wa we am mo di show is what we before some meto aso no GhanaRecords.com monko honko ready but ma menko achimobu akwa ye ochehina himfie na menka asem nchire ochehina kakra mero ada mama ajo yes ochehina set task force bi wo chibi they are terrorizing people. Mira say when you aware me dey ba wanim nuati people like you task force no omo terrorizing crofo na yes afro bi akwa abusua bi akwa family a wɔn dan ɛwɔ Okatakyie bi wɔn free 17 why no wɔn adeɛ no a Kofi na akɔhwɛ mmerɛ mu a yɛwɔ biribi a wokɔ ɛyɛ Act 1036 na Act 1036 in the Land Act of Ghana section 2 no ɛkyerɛ ɛyɛ the titles that a person can hold in our lands allodial title usufructural common law freehold deben borɔfo no nyinaa ne sɛ wotu emi na afie gya ɛwɔm so ɔgye asase free bomfa hene wo ana wɔgye free agona hene wo nanso so ɔyɛ abusuani ana wɔyɛ part of the stool ne nko adeɛ ɔno nso wɔ title sɛ wɔtumi didi asase no so transfer ma ne ma transfer obia ne wɔbɛtumi astop no unless you abandon assassin and son or hin and said to me, they abandon it, dear, and yet krata and and will be your owner of assassin by war, by conquest, by gift, by everything. There are several things. I've been in no moment you say aqua family, or Masasi, or more dying. No more dear more be said, and your Montenamo Kakra from last year, April, and was a year rent. Now you pursue a renovation to Muntu, and no one knows what dear ma a year, a yabanko for Modi or Mukio says. Yeah, near say a branch about could be the Alexander Minta. Now you're watching the photographer. On also will be where Nimuha. I feel one to us want to. No, I don't think him. I want to do him. What man into a genius idea. Any idea. And what you know, Bontin don't him to me. Am I Bontin don't him and say, assassin no cry, or no, your friends say, I bind dear. Now bind dear. I want to do him and we assembly member. We assembly. We DC. I bind dear, my bind one fight. I more fire. Yes, will be the DM Furiata, Daniel Emo Furiata. No, I quite cratat, and I'm a friend. A friend also or Tony Bedin. It was Tony Bedin, we are back at back. Nebum, when yes, ye be a yam watching in a home. Said DM Furiata, so I try Mocrata, say, or Mombra Messia, the allocation committee of Debe. Emma, 87 years a year, Merwan and Kokra, 89 years in Merwan and Kokra, or more about Mobratum, baby, to my dear Bannon. A dear Bannon, we are a debano. Yet to me, Mamma, him for a debano. I'm a number one friend, which say, I invite and say, one location, Echo Jojo, a debano. Eh? Munyas Hanyamano. I am from one, and my man near my baby, Kabisi Bibasa. I feel poor Mahini. Mirror chain is a winante ya. Now what you for pen winante ya. Your own crop for Yin. Tifanes war. Now you do see was what near Massiani so we yen chibi was. Woman I'm chronic 47 year dear son. I never know. Eh, Bobby? Eti mesre. Musa task force no ya tese. Mo hwe o chehin nsase so. Yaso ye kura na concession side. Wo mo akasa kwajibi no mutu. Ni ya terrorize nkrofo. Munya sa niema no. Ye be shara de ania besi wo munyai. Munyai sa niema no. Enioma se ya na mo ye kufa do ho ye ahin wo ho a ye ba ye lusu vote lusu. Munyai. Ade ba no. Obi, when you are prelims, and I'm said, dear Mofuriata, yes, or Befra Minute, or Tony Bedin, dear, maybe wait by Treha. Then we are best go into details. And dear Chili, and we ran him, Now, yes, Mark and Timuko Ramamel. Moon and run, I bet Moto. Maybe I see what you guys are doing.
More fire.
Fire bend them. Oh, you are changing the film. Where you are no film. Obi, your next topic here, JJ Rollins. So almost more year June 4th revolution. On best celebrity, Kovi, yet you come 31st December. Case be your friend MPP versus a year, IGP said the 31st December case. Why any idea? No, almost more best celebrity, MPP versus AG. Or more best celebrity, a year 31st December. Quite when can pay. Say in a democratic governance, we cannot be celebrating this nonsense. And look at it first, a bloodless coup. I feel all of a sudden, President Kufuor was it there be a minor, a young woman, and people under Jesus Christ. The youth of this nation, NDC all of a sudden, NDC wants to pretend as though we are democratic change. If you guys knew just some 30 years down the lane, some 40 years down the lane, the things that your fathers and your mothers went through in the hands of JJ, and then the crop for can you somebody NDC say a year revolution. Yes, celebrate June 4th. Near JJ Rollins, Bano. No, I quite know as an actor Rollins. Now, but see, democracy. How does June 4th has a place in a democratic governance?
Ask them.
Yanyana ni ajatum. Se ku ne nye 66 DSC free fan kotuka de na nye. Ti entontwene. Ana ne celebrate omo de. Yanyina ni ajatum. Se de 79 June 4th ne enye 72. Yato aba amabuzia. Ene adu adakufu ado. Na ayi a champon. What babaji to me from na champon kro bu amamu papa in 7 to 8 years. Ono kra de celebrate
More fire.
Yeah. Mobile 79. Nipa kunkuma. Kobi. Nipa lusu womo lives. Besi edru baby. Na fisher folks. Omuso omu consume a. Omu net no. Echi nipa. Nipa yakumo mo. Ewo kase ho. When you na training nim. E maba wani nim. Soja fo jeje Rollins kumo mo. Kobi. Obatan ya ne betue nufo no ye judge. Yesi jeje say. Time of course oba May 15th ni ade no. Ye jankrofo wei. Jeje. Ave mu nyina si ye nyaka. Ni asi yo yate. Ene ye beja aka. Ye mamra nche ni hu. Mo tworo curriculum ni history kwa. Mo yi sa ne o ni nyina fu. Eti ha wo say wo school te say jeje komuniba. Ye yi afre me bo a. Nya me ka no asanka ni. Aha. What change in one? After one come on to move on. Abedru baby on by a revolution, a June 4th. Now, Judge Banoko General Pajan and my father was, hey. What did June 4th for dear? You bet Kai Mount for June 4th for Yao. If I didn't want more, Miracle Janka Kasembi. Instead, says speaker no. Obey uses her opportunity also who the daughter of a Medra comment who said it. The speaker should have had a great opportunity to speak to the people and say that such comments are not necessary. If we are a nation, we've all agreed. See a bit move on. Have a speaker and say me the daughter of a Medra. Now you are dividing the nation.
Precisely so.
So one call had Waka a year Jebi Danko a traitor dear. And the Doka made of a daughter of a Medra. Why is it not true? Said J.J. Wallace was a Medra. Is it not true? National Reconciliation Committee report in the kind of findings they had against J.J. Wallace. And Okra Rebecca Sikufu by one no J.J. Menoka say SIB report, Special Investigative Board report to appear in 1988. And no J.J. Netisono report no. When you see it, you'll be amazed. The things that JJ did. Killing people left, right, center. Final report of SIB. This is the investigative. When him says I report 20 coffee, almost share hog your friend say a print house. Almost share no. Because they didn't want this report to come out. We pen moving a frame was Katachi but Kabi. I am show. Nyama here Kojuti Captain Chikata. Any JJ Rollins here in Kuruma. All of a sudden, almost young Kiano to Mobianka was a fire. Oh, Kumuya Kumonwanga Sanu crop for Bibri. And no could do what? A military a year bondasi, baby Omkokun, Judge and any adeno. Never Omuku house. Now, no more call military in Chilima. Who do an alcohol Juadiana was in Kregu. On your my jeje, so a batter. Now, and your muko, or Momodu Soprano was that, or Mochua, no more Kuno Masho. Baby, our mo a Cecilia Quantiano, Justice Cecilia Quantiano, any Quabenet Japan Papa, any a year a Ibakui. Baby, almost she or Mukovi. Yes, for so many years, no home. All of us are see a rim fee. And some best celebrate June 4th. Obian who best celebrate June 4th for best I pretend it's a me and can once. Most celebrating what you can once. You back high man for their course. In a democratic dispensation, how do we allow this nonsense to fester? President Kufuor or by year National Reconciliation Committee. And was your dear Sinino. Mumiana Yanka, dear Hawabia. Report the National Reconciliation Commission report, Volume 1, Executive Summary. You better read some of the executive summary in watch it. And Yoma J.J. Rollins here.
More fire.
You hear about J.J. Nuanumasam. Adebuga, Captain Adebuga. One on a judge, you soon no ma, will come probably, and the one and Muton, Adebuga no to a bit, you know.
More fire.
JJ was such a person, said, oh, come ni panokra, what you must more be manako film, and Brandon what Nakas or one, Niaji, Riadmo, no abajiso. And he said we shouldn't talk about it. As to whether or not I have a problem with JJ Kumuni Pano, it is my opinion. Sese cool now and so you need to kill people to survive. Either you kill or you are killed. Because only JJ Yachini Bekuno. But nobody is going to tell us say until JJ ba won Kumuni Pa. What's the Fidel Castro pepe? Time of Fidel Castro, or year cool first one 1930s movie. Or Janico a year Argentina, a Mexico. Or Koshia Ernesto Che Guevara. Or Camilo Fusiangu. When him saw almost a Buane Beyo who said a Boachija Boa JJ year 79 cool no man. Fa a Fidel Castro by. Or we will come Camilo Fusiangu, or come a Ernesto Che Guevara in Bolivia. Yamaka has it. The same strategy na JJ nya 79 we use yi. Omo buan ali dujiwamo. Omo buan ma ne yeku. Do obo nyum yi. Medo mekwa medo food na so akodi gun so. Adma ko nyameche. O chesi ni out. O nyina wo mgo ma JJ be yi. O kum bebre. Ali dujiwamo da omo ni omo ba. Wo chi wo kum omo nyina da. Yes JJ me anka. E de ba no. Commodore your friend say papa ya so akobo bosia 50,000 and nay 5 cedi okuno adiaba no bosia wo akobo bosia wo ye military ye commander no akobo bosia de asidan yeso wa wi o man ni sika jeje rollers kuno abe yes me anka wasem yabeka mudi jumfofo yabeka yesi munya adi na munya samu portrait jeje rollers wa meya hwe Captain and Krabby Father che. Oni JJ Rollins in the Kwachi Mota. Oni JJ Rollins in the co-military. These are the remarks of a Captain and Krabby Father che. Say, when him so no crow boy JJ Mani Yoku. Or buy ye JJ say in Satam no, or mo try first one ye Captain Koye. Ye see ye try no. Our brana lawyer Crane ho. Mutin ye can mutin ye say treason. Military version of a treason. What ye near den was any me lawyer was there be lawyer ni cry. Ye buan in the initial detention. JJ Rollins say buy aso open aso mo say akoyi no beboa ne kakra ye 1 2 3 wie ye. One was we yi ni free so. I didn't go share detention for 6 months. Ono anadam for. Ah ono kwa chimota. And mo se mi enka. Ebeka. Captain and Krabby Father Teneko. Then mo asem. Adebe no. Ya tu kromo asi. Asoja fo abua JJ bebre wo ko mo nyina da. Wo ko mo nyina da. All of a sudden, JJ is a hero, the unsung hero. Yankan wasam. Yankan JJ wasam. General Utukamo. I didn't know ye. General Cote, I didn't know ye. Omiankano Kure. Okumia Naminiano, not necessarily near celebrity JJ kum not military commanders. Bebre. So, when you summon Okase, almost said that kum a general cote and a Sabbath Fraser, Joya Medome. Almost said that kum notness just because they wanted to balance the act, and yes, antiphone one Yukuno. Obuwa, there was no crime against him. But yes, then Kumi, Yangas and yes, antiphone one Yukuno, and Yakam phone one Yukuno for pound. Momi adwen kwadi di wate most celebrity June 4 for Rebecca wasem most celebrity Rebecca wasem obi me no ka say mo musa JJ Rollins abusuafo se omo nimu a na na kwado adwuma Rollins what aso tiase mo musa no Emmanuel secretary bia na eso wo ho na wo sori anopa na kase ho Saturday what type Captain Krabby Father Teneka all type the tintin afi obe nwan say Saturday anopa na Lord wo kotewa ko hwe ade anu a yesi JJ Rollins ni moja ye ne ho ajeso wo chante okotic so wo modi wo ba no achi ko ne fie ko ye de ombe e de ba no no fire fuma samu so ho ya so kwa didi opesi ejai we ni kire a munyanse hunu ni di mo fire yanko fire bend them yanko hwe NRC report page 30 of the National Reconciliation Committee report ni hwe de omo kafa jeje ho obi jeje kum ya mo no ankasa ni kurumfo ayi Fabdy say fetish priest okum miensa fetish priest miensa ba ko ni den de togbe akapo ahiaku Talk back with a report of the NLC. Any crummy. Now you read the report, no. 0.5741. Or say. The famous fetish priests from Volta region were abducted and murdered in apparently mysterious circumstances in the early part of 1982. Prior to the carbon copy abduction, murder and burning of the remains of the 3 high court judges and the retired army officer on 30th June 1982. In each case, the charred remains of the victim were found in the bushes a day or 2 after the abduction. It is the way can I say. In a year, J.J. Rollins was a fetish priest to be a year voter. Now, when you bone, make kind bone natural. Or what you want me and send you a kumo. Or my hinne, or my hinne, I dare say, or my hinne, and no my hinne a bush any, a revolution. And one who say, Bino, and who come brimono. I never know. What's a me and kite? Yabakai. Yeah, J.J. Rollins ye. And Omoka said the carbon copy style of the way Omudi Kun judges. Sapepe pen Omo ya, Omudi Kun, sa a fetish priest me and say. Naya fetish priest, Omoya. Bakude the Togbe Akapo Ahiaku. Fetish priest and transport owner, popularly known as Yaya Boy, of Atijibe in the Okatakyie district. His crime was that he was suspected to be plotting with others to use juju or fetish to kill the chairman of the NDC. PNDC. And in the crime, you say almost suspected say, "What did you be cool?" A J.J. Rollins, and your coaching now you cool on your share no more fire. Dear Bannon, of Master saw Yangunia. Eh? One movie, Yano, Yon Kuno, Togbe, fetish priest of Ayachiame. Eh? On the 24th of February 1982, by the same Medros gang, the modus operandi was the same, and his body was burnt. What's me and can was cause a J.J. Rollins. Mombasa become was some the Munya revolution. What did you ever catch a man for them? It's a moment the PNDC. Yeah, no more transmographer moho, a pina free ho, a DNDC number, and internet the national security coordinator to work. Ovi? Yes, who was say, make Okatakyie, Marco Caswa, your mama, boy, as much as he can, or bet you wear power lies. National security coordinator, I mean, who him cast some children. Means slow, that means slow. Means slow. Now me drew Sakwana some swag, the Okaya Mark one better, I was say, me no monsieur no minimum. Diamoka ye, Mati. Meka no wase ma mokan. Ate, musim besis meka. Mo mesisi na mfonko. Saban we na de car no ma me beka mbeki. Ana se car no ye obi ye wia car no dia. Ene obi na wia na mesa kan. Enti ye beko nipa no wo. Fire for fire. Asemo ma fia mama asemo ma. Waje. So obi na wia car no na me mesa kan ye dia. Mimi wia car no. Ene obi na wia na mesa kan. Obi a wrem no obi a kronimu. I'm telling you. Samson Daniel Kwao Togbe Kwaku Akwe was arrested 26 February 1982 and taken to the residency extensively to meet Dr. Fiagbe, the regional secretary. He went there, but before that, when he said, "Senyasa papa we ya to Fiagbe ya Dr. Fiagbe, komu kumai heneno." Now yonkoni yonkohade. Oshe a year 0.5749. Was it the first port of call of the hired gang of killers on each occasion was the residence of Dr. Fiagbe, the regional secretary and representative of the PNDC in the Volta region. Indeed, Dr. Fiagbe admitted that he met them, knowing the sort of person they were dealing with. The murderers showed Dr. Fiagbe little respect. They told him their mission. Powerless, he telephoned Flight Jerry John Rollins to find out if the swaggering band of killers had his authority. Tienye, ono Dr. Fiagbe no. Time wa nkrofo jeje asoma muso munkuku no. Eba ye no. O Fred J.J. Rollins say, "San nkrofo wo authority ara." Tientie. Flight Rollins, Lieutenant Rollins told him not to interfere. Tiedi wakayo J.J. Rollins now a year a regional commander of the PNDC no friend say nkrofobia ba ha omo ekoye nneoma ekokum nipa ne ade. Do they have the authority? Was it J.J. Rollins catch and say he shouldn't interfere? Now, you had the report in the kind. Dr. Fiagbe then left them to carry on with their murderous intent. Where the report? We was from the evidence abducted, adduced before us. We are satisfied that these murders were carried out on the orders of the chairman of the PNDC. Where a report, NRC report. I see this, or more findings, and J.J. Rawlings was there. Yankaya Debako. The only person Dr. Fiagbe was able to save was his uncle, Togbe Adalaja, Paramount Chief of Anlo, who had also been abducted and brought to Dr. Fiagbe's official residence. He was accused of being in league with the fetish priest. It was fetish priest today, New Year. And Togbe Adalaja, Paramount Chief of Anlo. So I'm going to Dr. Fiagbe. But for the pleas of Dr. Fiagbe, the gang would have dealt with him in the same short, sharp and cruel manner. Instead, they gave him a severe beatings. Now the report goes on to say, the commission finds it surprising and extraordinary that a paramount chief should be subjected to such humiliation by these young men. J.J. Rawlings in Paramount Chief of Anglo. Boy, say to me, Bono. Nani Bromoye. And so Omu ye no. And there were on Mamon Candy. Mamon Candy. What's it? All of a sudden, most of me and Kai, J.J. Ye. Young Kai. Rakai. Niama J.J. Ye. Omi asun kwa did you? Omi? Omi asun kwa did you? Amatekwe, Wobewo. J.J. Rawlings wanted Amatekwe to exonerate them. It's Amatekwe. When J.J. Rawlings said, we're giving it up, we're thrown under the bus. Well, Kwana almost say, woman the report, a recorder, Eko is Amatekwe, and Cassie were known a years our crimes and near on his own. Amatekwe is one can, no way no can cry, and can report on the Kapchanawaha, the meaning of a year dealing in our ha. J.J. Rawlings said, no, I chase Amatekwe is one Casano. What Dimricat J recorder no, at the best no call from call shooting range. And on one course or cancer or call Amatekwe and carry. More fire. Monsieur J.J. Rawlings, me and Kai, then I'm teach them, and then I'm teach them. And Aluminium Mugabe say, we should stop talking about national security coordinator and we'll be Bob Redrus and Kanwa say, who Mugabe? She says, we Steve one day will say, dear you, was it you one was first. Mugabe who could for the Bob Redru baby would do. And then around country, Mamuka can say, Munya Botre, and can focus on the one trishi. Where season 1, episode 7. We know, baby, 4 years is a long season. Why? Baby, a month for any. We will let the people know the truth. Then they will decide what they want to do. Obi, enti jeje bi okumunipa. Hey, okumunipa ba. Yanko ni yanko hwe SIB report. Yaka SIB a. Tama jeje kun ye judges no. There was a special investigation board where you're setting it up. So we investigated the kidnapping and killing of a specified persons. And when you report in the habit, so I report we. When so work some about to war. Aye, we crame. We intimacy. We kura. National security don't be ambet me aye. Mirror Osman you pay be ambet me aye. And nya abotre na national security be ka adwa kire wo. Anya say bia national security tie nka adwa kire. Kwase ane abo ne yanka. Na ye be putu we jab wonnan mu nya abotre na nko ho. Nya abotre. Why? And five emotions ma wo. Na we nya revolution wo. We ma tworo krata koma all the embassies. Said the mo be ye nie. Why? International relations. I will trigger all the protocols because minimum beku. Timunya abotre. Obi, report no oko paragraph 21 to paragraph 29. The kind of things in the report you'll be shocked. The Captain Kojochi Katamoye. We under JJ now, 1988. So report we on one under JJ. It when yes will be MP before the way. Okay, report no say. In spite of the evidence that the chairman of the PNDC, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, was a close associate of Captain Amedeka, and again, in spite of the clear evidence that the Fiat Companola, Egypt, the Dominicocun judges, which was used in kidnapping, was collected from the house of Mrs. Ajima Rawlings. There was no evidence from the inference can be drawn. There was no evidence, but from the inference it can be drawn that the chairman and his wife had full knowledge of the kidnapping and the murders. We under JJ Rollins. SIB report. Onwa it's new open under JJ Rollins.
More fire.
Kano ye koku ye de ko chi nkrofo no koku mo ba abedeka mo no amete ko emu no JJ Rollins ayi so ni nana ko do adwuma Rollins ni fie table ana na keys ni bu na ka ni so ana o mo say report no say from the inference we can come to the conclusion that the chairman of the PNDC and the wife was in the known, had full knowledge. You can't full knowledge, that means they know him and son of medicine in it. I kidnapping the course of them. I've been Muslim Yankian. When you say, what kind of report now? Dear Captain Okatakyie, most of the murders were on the orders of Captain Okatakyie. Precisely. Abi yesemianka judgment no poni ekoso nyina momi aso kwa didi o MPP no na agimie ne yetenase a yetimi hwe niema na NDC for tag ye ne tag ye ne akia no yake kan hye ani court ye fa mu nsem hunu ne mu court sem na mfi wa ho kokora ne nyina mkopa mintra ni afa ya nchechire party mu fo party ya radicals bebem party radicals with knowledge so kofo e kan e be kan bi a kire omo ya memasem e be bi a kire omo that is the kind of party we want bi am be se be memasem de nyina fa ngoni nchechire man period ya so nkwa didi de be na momi aso nkwa didi amo ha ya adwensa Obi no kura na ha ne wo manfo no ka bi wo mo ka bi abosen 10 unsi yeshu ndi ana nche yetimi me kwan afo hours na do ni yire
19
abosen 19 nji yendu ba bia cha ma me wo se go bi wo enioma abeka na ayu contem because kwasia aboanim nti onche
5 hours ni mu 3 hours ye kwasia ne abo
sa
da bi entimi nyesa
go vi ye wi SIB report ye be to Facebook
more fire
na show no na yenya nwie show no kura no 5,300 likes 2,000 shares 92,900 views 10,000 plus comment. Yakoto. Timusum goto bi wai. Ebeton bi ama o.
More fire.
Why omi yanka no kure nchire yom gobi. Yanka no kure wo. JJ Rollins was a murderer today. He was a murderer tomorrow. He was a murderer in the next years to come.
More fire.
Nobody will be allowed to whitewash. You speaker, when your opportunity, unite the nation. Tell them, say where you traitor near the who here, where you murderer near the who here. Of Masamon show. Huh? What John Taino? Akwara ka kire nso okun ni papa mommy asun kwa radio hey enkofo yaw hye enkofo mo gobi the kind of things that when people talk about JJ twama ma wo kromu a
more fire
ada say yes e man e holding nioma ba for di odi ne sai ka to no ofi aso mo kofodua na mo ma report no se wa kofodua o yedai Matesco oyi no twa ne ma what did roll from JJ Rollins?
More fire.
After Muslim yanka we mam ran chen maba wani hu. So mun pese ye be kan dia. Revolution no munya celebrity. We are in a democratic dispensation.
More fire.
Anything that reminds the people of a painful past, we must throw it somewhere.
Exactly. So
other than that, we will continue to let the people know.
more fire.
What call you pina for the NDC aba? All of a sudden has a munya here. What people man no ho. Not necessarily mukum or munya asam ketwa. Yeje we ya not necessarily mpena asam no share that day a free holiday for Hajj. Why by? Sa na day ya. She de kum papa. Masa mo so. Yanwe ho. Me na meka. Me say obi anwane nko ba bia. Yamba plan nyina nso nya mete. E bi se nipa no nim se me ya de papa. National Security Coordinator Rosman. Yanko ne yanko hwe adebuga. JJ Rollins oboa no amani di bone yenti adebuga yenti no.
The point is I feel guilty that innocent people, not only soldiers, the 260 people who got missing, most of them are there and other places which they know. You see, that doesn't mean
tell me some of the other places.
If you are going to the range, you understand, some of them are there, that Teshi range area. And if you are going to the airport, especially the Air Force boys, they call that place Agege. They were buried there discriminately there. You see, those Air Force boys were reckless. So
they were buried indiscriminately. And this is a person who was there with JJ Rollins. The course in our Yahweh. Adebuga, one of Buama JJ Yeku. He literally did all the coup for JJ Rollins. Oba o chasing out. Adebuga, o chasing him on the Admakunya Mechamu Kotna, a Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire and Waka Bruchiri. And Wakano. They were buried indiscriminately. Yentia the entire second video. And then your production now we are solid. And now Benya is scared from watch it. And a match of 500 Ghana free. Papa.
He made a mistake and went and shot somebody who was related to Rollins. And then Rollins told me to go and shoot him. And I said, why? What has he done? It's called W2 Kingston or Kinsley. Kingston. Okay. So it was one Boachi who went and shot him. Called Boachi of Air Force. I called and he was shooting. So Rollins made a mistake and went and shot somebody who was related to Rollins. And then Rollins told me to go and shoot him. And I said, why? What has he done? It's called W2 Kingston or Kinsley. Kingston. Okay. So it was one Boachi who went and shot him. Called Boachi of Air Force. I called and he was shooting. So Rollins made a mistake and went and shot somebody who was related to Rollins. And then Rollins told me to go and shoot him. And I said, why? What has he done? It's called W2 Kingston or Kinsley. Kingston. Okay. So it was one Boachi who went and shot him. Called Boachi of Air Force. I called and he was shooting. So Rollins made a mistake and went and shot somebody who was related to Rollins. And then Rollins told me to go and shoot him. And I said, why? What has he done? It's called W2 Kingston or Kinsley.
Jinaso. Messi, a man channel. A reggae song was it. Tell the children the truth. Exactly. Tell the children the truth right now. Tell the children the truth. We've been whining on the rhyme praise for much too long. Rebel. I've Nyabotre. Nientie, Daniel. Nyabotre. Nientie or call reconciliation committee. Sa akoko ya muhuni. One na JJ Rollins suma no. E ma no ko feme nkrofo. E de bana JJ Rollins hwe. Si ye kum nipa wo hwe na ne gia no. Yentie.
Some civilians, children with your mawak. Is that true?
That is wrong.
You have killed a border guard official, isn't that?
That is wrong.
You want to tell this commission you have never killed anybody?
If I've ever killed, then it was something by your boss, Flight Lieutenant Rollins.
It was what?
It was sanctioned by him.
Sanctioned by
Rollins, Flight Lieutenant Rollins. Let him come here and answer that.
You have killed some civilians, children with your mawak. Is that true?
That is wrong.
You have killed a border guard official, isn't that?
That is wrong.
You want to tell this commission you have never killed anybody?
If I've ever killed, then it was something by your boss, Flight Lieutenant Rollins.
It was what?
It was sanctioned by him.
Sanctioned by
Rollins, Flight Lieutenant Rollins. Let him come here and answer that.
You have killed some civilians, children with your mawak. Is that?
Where from the horse's own mouth, Kobi? Any power what's in our call reconciliation committee, and someone who can. Now, branch and I know Bisano. Say it was cross-examination time. Now we're impugning BB on a debuga. Sab debuga kumunipa. Was it semi kumunipa? It was sanctioned by your boss, Flight Lieutenant Rollins. Now, Riyadh nan work or you know. Or no, Echo video nkrofo de ba ma jeje hwe. Nkrofo ye ku omo. O hwe wi anani age. No asere. Mo si yan kai se je ye be kai. Mo get out.
More fire. More fire.
Ya mo dwene nyina menim. Obi say you guys don't understand what dictatorship is. No, when it comes to me, they say, as to whether I have a problem with what he did. Nemo Myanko Busa JJ Rollins say, even innocent people who had nothing to do with the revolution, he killed them.
More fire.
So,
In who entire revolution, or my kuomo, yes, we are threatened by any person. Or what I say, me understand the power dynamics. Power is not a small game. But say innocent people are no when you're threatened by them. Who kuomo? We are normal. Most you celebrate JJ, we a hero. Now, much me can say we should celebrate JJ because he gave us a year freedom. Nonsense to the highest degree.
More fire. More fire.
Nonsense to the highest degree. So it's like what you want. Now, Obiabe for freedom. You can say fundamental human right. These are human rights that are not given. You have to enjoy it. Right to life, right to this, right to that. Fundamental. Not JJ Rollins, but no freedom of movement. Obesizi. Or no necessism of freedom. Or we are was me CZ. No more bargain. So, hey, JJ, am I a freedom? My Jimmy. Jimmy.
More fire.
No, this my judge say ya two abey liman. Obis man so me yakunu metu. It was since mu freedom ni wie no. An was say kakra bi ma mo. An mo ni je. Say judge ama mu freedom. O ma mu freedom say. Ya baka no kure. You people will be uncomfortable, but we don't care.
More fire.
so.
More fire.
Ya me ye judge anya na busu afọ fa me court. Dimamu me ye coward in niam bia. Go to court.
More fire.
Obi, you be can okre. We tell the children the truth. Now yonko tie JJ Rollins no a. Kwaku Sechiado before so be wu. Kwaku Sechiado koye ni interview. Daniel, yes, I video no ready mama. Ono ananu mutuo ken. JJ Rollins say. Even General Afrifa Mensah no. He did not kill he was being provocative. He was being provocative. Since when did somebody being provocative became a crime?
Ask them.
More fire. More
Ask
fire.
them.
Since when? Second, yes. Where is first one, Mebwa? Wait, there be. Okay, so I don't know which of the videos you have, but Yanko. Okay, Nyabotre, I'll come to that and you play. Where is second one? Our first one. Which are how many?
3.
Which are 3? Cornerbo first one. We who first one? I mean who? Make a chero. What? Where you free fan? I do a kind of free fast. Yentie.
More fire.
Yentie.
Like, he will have to say more. And what did he say? He said Afrifa had been advanced a good load of money to wage a campaign against Champong's union government. Yes, at that time, I mean, things were pretty hot. And
No. Fame called first. Fame called the other one. Fame called remember how to. So I had the JJ Kenya say Afrifa. Now there was a certain general be war no JJ Abemu, and he felt threatened by Afrifa and the Asantis. JJ was very specific. Was it the general feel threatened by Afrifa and the Asantis because Asantis were more powerful? So Osheda no the Afrifa shame. But at some point it was JJ no one a year. What went me among General Kurundi. He felt threatened by Afrifa and he killed Afrifa. Send Afrifa a CIA agent, and the person, the general wanted a linkage with the CIA. We have a kind of correct. Opa Munkume, Yama Sem,
More fire.
Baby, a branding tea, Yanya Nyanko, Yaja, in India. I was just saying, Shubram, why? Offense you breme. They say you better be na nsuo no. Menuma ntimi nkomiyam. Yasa menum nsuo. O say I was your son breme. Na menum bi. Na engumiyam. Sa jenwa. Menum nsuo. Na engumiyam. Wane se jale. Obi su. ana waso ama mimi no munsu kwase akeka sei esuo jaboga otumi mama ni mu obamu anu otete miyaka control ona lumba boma no ona na champon basement ohunu we na ya no ni yiri ni mana timi tena se 5 hours na o man so mfra wo na o say ne man o mo sori a o mo hunu ne color ni different so I'm sure in their head they go like one so die I was a Fabry me hey mami no msuo na wachena ja ebia ne ya di bibia ya miminim I go vote him no grow
no piao
Nzu
Monsieur dead
you be na we no ma poison no go me mo family de nko de no ja so fefe wo se no e me no ko ana afi ya ko ana ne mo me ne mbako we is mentioning his name Amatela asem na make right
they didn't yet
it the times animal they yazo otibi gaza now yazo otibi gaza I'm not Calvin I'm Kevin but let's have a conversation why phone ye did monto sado nim to sad monto to dos nim jero monto to mna menwnya akwan no chena ameka se yempa ne ade ya panel we want the sound to stay in babu bie dos dodo hey Enoch to the original nim ade om se single room should na mo bie bia na ede ne ko single room yes mo fa cement nso ano
more fire
obeti he's supposed to hear onte Daniel onte I don't want to sound a yin so. One tear can go to a better. When him read, they say as a sound that is a fear about Kuruno. But let's move on.
More fire.
When we see a chill my own, we must be serious as a nation.
More fire. Precisely. More fire. See, I see a chill of mine. Now, some penny empire pay a mine year. Yes, he is serious. We are done yet, me budget to Musa. See, a cassia fight corruption and its related issues. And upon Brentum, what? Bramutum. Now, having better sound near clear. No BRTB. Women, you see a building nation. Yet a chile mine. A mighty chileno. Corruption, you be fighting. More fire. It is in Kobia Bonia. Obetra na so beka. Bonina ni pana ye. No wa chere mrakura etia sa boneno. No wa call on the state agency. No ma ba no mo design ni pana yasa. E den ya bedru ba bia. Ya normalize. Agiatum. Say in fighting corruption. Ya de ema ebesi ho. Ana ho tantan. Why you say Jim Italian money box? And what about why say Bema? And what about phone? No about kankai? How did we normalize that?
Oh fire.
See a fight here for corruption. Na se me ko Afrifa my bibia. And yet dear my no. For me best wanna come as somewhere. How did we get to a point here? I just say kofa me maame, kofa me papa, kofa me nua, kofa me ma, kofa me yere, ni abesi wo, ni adinatam, ni akire, ni ayese. How did we get there? As a means of fighting corruption.
Precisely.
How did we get there? See, as a fighting of corruption here, dia. E yeda ni agia tum se kofi. Obi betimi abetena ho for 4 hours. Kwasia, abua, jimi, kwasia, utikankan, moving continuously for 4 hours. And we've normalized it. And nobody sees anything wrong with it. All in the name of politics.
Exactly. So.
Obviously, I see my dear. Then we must check all these things. I don't have a problem with anybody here. Or so fight him or mine. That's all fight him or mine. Make at a chair, Megina here, my bedi or mine is sikabi. Medu or mine position be. I then obit me tenacity. No, I see me fight him or mine. Back at the chair, Marco attack. Nimpodier. I come with a chance. I open the Matama Dianche. A dear Chana, a dear Chin Kurum for, ne papa. But you know why? or your political mercenary.
Precisely so.
Tienio. Or your political mercenary.
Precisely so.
It's the entire of Fawsi wa. Obako Faw Mame, Befa Papa, Befa Unia, or Yere, or Ma. It's because when him said you walk and found on Yanokure. They won't so did you a winning time to Mobamwa. Oh, Mamma, and Bacatcher said you are person with Jani Jai. And what we yes, had you we are for so long, and we've accepted this and only norm. We are branch ABS, what Nabesi was say. A branch any year gold fraud. One and FB. And now, quani of Froster, now quani of Froster. And so, when you documents about Kokura, say, when a branch and dinner echo boo or be, yet the command Ghana police Moncheno, Bessine, Nanim. He keeps up with a story. It was Shasia, oh, you Froster. I would make sure we deal with you. We did it. The next day, no about Nanimame, or Nemama supporting or a Froster, or any. What did you enjoy, sir? A branch and an ex-girlfriend. A miminim sa ex-girlfriend.
More fire.
And one girl ne jai. No one girl ne jai no. Ne ya wunti. No one didn't come Kevin tell us one year the way.
More fire. More fire. More fire.
Nanim. Wa ya a kola wa na adwene mu nti no. When him dey ntro be attack me. A friend me hunu dey ntro be attack me.
More fire.
The same girl here can ask him. No, your meme ex-girlfriend.
More fire. More fire.
It's a girl in the born the pass. Come after him. And he came after me.
More fire.
Not because he thought I've done anything wrong.
No.
A branch of next week. So I see a branch any Froster. A giant fraud on why. So the documents are quite some fee. Not say you fake here. I want to say some fee because he ain't me no one year Juma. And our power didn't remember Ora. And yes, sir. A gen and a mammy ayo. A gen and in yo. Ne papa yo. Ne swayo. And we've accepted this madness. Say a part of fighting corruption. To the name army bebem. Or the India bebem. Say be or more tea woman no more fresh. A branch here. Sir, at the end. And a branch any the bibia by a friend to go soup. It's what they come as a benjamin fee. Nesika beba home. Na girl ya can ask him. When you now go now because I want you clean.
More fire.
When you clean.
More fire.
A girl in himself branch and bay and I'm in the idea. And the young fan come out Kwawi. No one go after him. And dear Wayano.
More fire.
And that is in the modus operandi.
More fire.
And the engine accept it.
Pound for pound.
What you say? How did we accept this? A branch away to me back. No, the mercy. And I give to a worry. What is a Bema? Say give to a warrior we are or mine sika. Make Afrifa Mensah. Or sure class or Beba me many seven could defend.
More fire.
If you forgive to a worry, Diano, dear Waka, Fabra. And you don't give to other Sabema, Nana says Yemia Bema, and you are sitting down because you're from Mausunti. What you say you're normal, when you're normal, and you're quasiade.
More fire. More fire.
No, you are beautiful. No, Sabema. No, I say Italian money box. Not this. And we've accepted this foolishness. Say you're fighting corruption. How did it become fighting corruption? This foolishness. Is that how corruption is fought? And you are just
pound for pound.
Na obi na bebo pa ababa we and anu yeso wo kam se me no me na yi nadamfo bia oye genuine wo wadamfo ne genuine na me na me ne obi nante a me nkana kira sem wo wadamfo no so genuine what is say wa wusu no ban to say wa no de abranche ya koma no no wo huru obi ba wo abranche ne nya hwe o why bibi de ofa ne koma police ofa ne nko na kofi ode ba me so and trunk one say tam. What you make now home as a kwasiam penny boy we. I want this certificate to be apart from marriage certificate. I be catch them more say. Make Afrifa Mensah degree. Nanim. One no bar. Odi can accuse you. Fa hwemo no akolo say nya no koda but I be prove say now call law mo a your friend be actually incubate probation say he who alleges must prove he who accused must prove it can be who ye ka je ni certificate no na ka de media be kire say me ni bi na mo wo twa ntro ni wi a no aka kire wo say come and prove say wo certificate are you a fool me be page mo ho na me pe dey I tell you, accepting nonsense way. I was first degree in public administration. Me was second degree in masters in international relations as masters. I may ya law. Our Gimpa. A branch away to me dada man for say. Matina Gimpa for 7 years. Minti me, no one jedi. I'm we normal. A branch away because me repi agona mind him. Our bra one for police report back Okurama. Mujidi because of Unquasia Semunti.
Precisely so.
Because he's been sent to come after me. So he does these things. What they call Yereswa, what they call Weswa, what they call Weswa. Not just a woman na catch you saying ye and Kasa Yedin. Are you a fool? Is that how we build a nation? The modus operandi new. And people can see through it. See, I see a church mine. That's a bay way, dear. Way near the church mine. And he accepted your way. So branch you and I'm a ton say man crofo na me say when me on for police report to Baku say I must say per this police report okoto asase man nipa we am ye che no it say when me on for bia ma ba wo gidi mu ye normal. How did you accept this thing as the norm? Bobby no ana kwa fifa na ne kwati ewu na ne kwati ketekete ne money blow Jordan. Na when you gay, I make what you win a category. I can weigh and come on.
More fire.
Near Timmy Atina, my branch, I when you go to your picture, will need 2 weeks. When you go to join him, where you when you go to join him, Cocha, let him did you opiatem. Coffee? Well, what 20 pound? Na branch, and I'm a shot. Yeah, what damn hey, coffee. Minsuro menka me sure say na pon na bia we pen watch na eya manfo na dwene wo dwene ho a won tie ase onim say said your tears I no describe nipa and na no otwa ne fo picture by na ehu yi fane na ne to so na gina ho no na on fane na ne sa mra
asa bebe mo fire
atia ben ya ne sa
mo fire fane na se bra
hobi
ne na se
na oye otimi ye memasem ana ya to abawie me wonim se kofi abrante we na first day I make call your friend say Angel the very first day I'm ko do hono anopa ana ma bailiff e dey court summons bi ba ye say makoka bibia tia ne papa it will mess me wonim say funny enough 2 years ni o ma court da and no starting in kwasi asem ya and once I say any case in yes and start be and the people believe nonsense.
More fire. More fire.
How did we get here? See a bema kwam obi di nkrofo yerenom nkrofo ma nkrofo abusuafo where you fighting corruption. How did this become fighting corruption?
More fire. More fire.
Nti my yes so ne o ma say so
Dabida.
na me hunu yi ya to abawi na se wo se wo di aban aba no problem. Hey, moko we mkobo no. Moko we moko che no. Moko hye we. Anso make say no ono ankasa te abuchiri. Oye coward.
Exactly.
So onye coward a. Sa branch we.
Fire.
Oba ye. First day oba Ghana. Otena United Airlines. Omo ya na obi liki ma me say unua ne na Washington oba. Na me say okay no problem. Now let me tell him, Obabedu ye gate 15 omo de fine. Na me ya aware. Now just so you know that even people around you don't like what you are doing. Baby anu onamu bia na me ya aware. Me de car numbers go Facebook and na me kire. O decide so obekọ aye odo na me ya aware. O decide so obekọ. Na nim one ne papa di boni bi wa aye odo oba aye. Na ma sheda na me nka ho ase. And crime has no expiring date.
Fire.
No statute of limitation on crime. Oh no, Papa. When government changes, you pay for it. Wabedi boni bi o. Oba ye ya wadi. Oma di boni bi wa ayo. And I'm aware. Now oba ye abranchi say. Say me num obe take something precious away from me. Na me hunu say nkrofo decode say obe ye juju ni ade nya juju. So actually the conversation across national security ni say me ma catch national security coordinator say oye jomama boy dia they will come after me. Now one of the things they will do me join some voice in a unique here they will make sure they hurt my voice. It is idea no ye obenum nsu oba fra yire say obenum nsu. It means they will infect my throat with something just so I can't talk. The way Jiminti, okay, some children about can say on the bay. It was a plan of the national security. So against me. National security, me no case oma kwa jeme call records. I omu tracking crofo, me no omu din komo every day. Trace woman. Me away.
More fire.
After omu wie ya, omu se meme car mitwi no, ombeje car no because I was a national security coordinator ye boy. Ora Osman, woni akoma ntimi nya national security. Wotimi fa national security so huru obi akurima. There are more pressing issues on national security. That borders on national security. Wotimi fa meme nya yastic. Pa mu nkume. Nya masem. Car no ekura me no. Me nwia car. Se me wia car. Mo fa nko court. Na court meje. Nyo obi aka ye mekwa Afrifa me car. Ana nya aban na de car ma me. Eti se mo se mo otumi a. Na se mo ya sa de we se mo be use force a. Me nka hwe. Na emom se de tumi no ani podua no anka na nhwe ne to no. Akufo do 8 years abetwam. I can bet you honestly, one government change, obi obeya sa de ni bia me I'll come after you. Yes mo kume. Some se mo nya nkwase ade ni jimi. Da bia mba pound for pound. Sadi Akufo do ba ye nneoma mo se mo be reset. Mo ba de mo ye worse.
Exactly.
Bia nre obi awu. Afa branchie say wabagana na me no a aka me bae no meye ye friend say press conference we airport na ma to sign Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah ashe shoe red any khaki any check kurasini we abranchie we obi ompomwie no we a obae yi first no na wo betrasia aya hwe ne lakos ba ko bi blue bi wonsesa no anu atwetwe pa obi otasha pa emso okoko si ne man enta de wi a oye ya ne nsa hu ahuro wonso sore ya na wa betra ho na obae ya pesi kama no onse si wo hyehyɛ lane shirt ana wato go chin kito bi ato ne ko no wa supaku go chin Wagakupali. Oba na jo mama ne nem. But you are a fugitive of the law. Okay, Bintela. Nana adwene ne se obetimi atena America. No what in some morning. But you were electronic a year actor, ye diaba. And you were criminal and other offenses act 1960, act 29. Na oko constitution anymore. Article 1921. And there can be said. When we say criminal offense, it shall be the criminal offense of Ghana, which the court will have jurisdiction over it. And for that matter, which is outside the territorial integrity of this nation, the court will not have ordinarily a jurisdiction over it. But do you know something? There is a principle in law called the initiatory jurisdiction of a crime and the terminatory jurisdiction of a crime. We make a one just because I'm lecturing you. It is a way idea, baby. Na say you feel the impact of sad no so baby. Although one yes hard no but because crime no happen the court can sit on it. Me no can say Oni Sankuma, o chantro to Sankuma so with that fact. Naka was no fight for mine. That's what kind of credit. Careful court in American Adeba. Fatuso. Sankuma led by Thaddeus Sorry. Yes, speaker lawyer. Speaker lawyer names Wodim Kwasasemuti. Odi Sakumbachi and a koye. Omokoye yama full judgment. Fadienbra. 2.9 million and he awarded against Kevin Taylor.
More fire.
No. You accept this and your way.
Fire.
And it's a most say ye chichiro maya. And my ye did you matem na kwasia aboa na kwas adiabano no. It is a muhu se odo bia maame eba besi ho a oboa nipa ne nya hwe. Jabone pa. Ababa wa bi ne kobo ne pa so omra after me. Wonim se mrantie ye ba eye angel so mba hwe me no. Sa kwa na ye. On a bomb. After all, by ya what it what is it? The NTN what it is a warrant done so. Now the government doesn't want to be seen to be the one aiding him in evading the warrant. You are a fugitive of the law. You are a criminal. Now you see, Kevin, my man can't say Kevin is a court warrant done so. Active court warrant done so. Kebedu, Amabadu, Yama Taylor. Ama Taylor, I make us some winchell. You must be a young fool. We just don't talk. Now, we are bofra, we are near Massa bofra. Abante, aduru baby suade kakra enura minyane ntia so DJ bi dankwa bai na wo kire who is JB dankwa that is the kind of conversation we should be having devoid of kwasia abua Jimmy intellectual analysis and discourse to build a nation is what we are looking for
more fire
around there you have to learn so what suade dia kwasia abua no ebe reduce
exactly so
because when they are things to see metia and my churo no to tintin maybe my churo no to you ha my churo bi wa ha my churo tintin nyama wo ho bebre se meka na da kwanya ta maka kwasia ne abo
na bi time ni ho
what I say
ebre ni ho
wo ba ya ye odo wo ye ne ade me ne to wa no okosesa aka okotena bi fufu Obi, we can't correct. She are building nation here. We cannot accept this. And you're part of nation building. You didn't go for my minimum term. Eddie Bessie, and you're part of it. We cannot. No. Mr. Remo. So we'll be so fighting. Kokutela, Amatela. So we'll fight your man Crawford here. That's a man for one. For documents, bra. Say nipa we ABC. Apart from the okwa editia, ye fra okwa to abedwane said yes and kuma de odwane yi. Na what ya brochire ninti. Why do you also we ya entimi affected? No what or threaten make Afrifa. You will take something precious away from me. Me say me nimboni a no papa di no aye odo. Oba ye ya. Ashada na menka wasem. Now when you try that nonsense with me,
more fire.
And yakasa we respect the law, but my catcher on yakasa yakasa.
More fire.
Don't do that. What?
More fire.
So please, with the greatest of respect to you, in fact, I want to even give you the respect you don't deserve. Where Jimmy do? Where Uncle? Meanwhile, na me mo abranti edi babia wo wiase da. Me fa ne nyare. Afa me da sori anopabia. Say me yes gay di makoma nti. No so me mu na kenyi na and the same girl na this abranti we. Ayi anafi. Akoma no.
Baton.
Now what's that girl no there? Be careful. Minim say sabre wo hwe me. Be careful.
More fire.
I'm gonna tell her, we don't do this. Yeah, build your mind. We don't do this. Some mercenary job, political mercenary job. We don't do that.
More fire.
Yes, small one. And the people believe it. Because now, clearly you could not tell. Na kente sadia kwebe ma kotodwe etimi didi ketechi atem e wa bra ma nantu asi fom ketechi ye awurade nyame enra was yesi koti kete na aye gofunim ma me bi na branche bi koye na eja okofa no na oye na sese wo mbo aguro wi na ma me ye no se branche na so anga se o guitar ni swasa no se na so anga se be perform me sports stadium kam ni guitar kese e ba ejia bia ni pa no be ka kire wo no na enye me na me guitar ni swa na sports stadium na na e perform na mo pese o hunu se so ya yi ni ayi a Melissa Taylor o yire no 2 minutes. So about you cannot bully us. Abrante, stop it. Do intellectual analysis. Tenacity. Your notes. Speak to them. When you be a bit me a frail lawyer be a friend. A international relations person be a say make me a resource person. What I say? But this question about oh, man for not being a woo.
Mr. Y Mr. Kill.
I say good.
Mr. Y
Kill.
So, gentlemen, you don't deserve to be called a gentleman, but I want to give you that respect. Listen to me. You should stop crying like a baby. You came to war with knife, and we met you with machine gun. But this time, let me tell you something. So first a year encounter me knew information. It was more than 3 months. You know why? So no be oye kwasiampo wa plan ade eda ho e dili ene de onim nyansa no plan ya ye suru kwasia na wa plan no wate na se be obi beka so onim nyansa nko plan meet me information and I still have you information. But I'm looking for the right time to deal with you. And it's our banter back and forth. Me interested. I wish you could meet me one and one. Then you look in my face and you say the things you say.
So
you can't say it, bro.
more fire.
When you meet me, you can't say it.
More fire.
We have a wusu, I'll take something precious away from you. I'll take something away from you. You take something away from me.
More fire.
It's me about one year meet and greet.
What me about one meet and greet? Egane. Why do I make selfie? I didn't make selfie.
More fire.
Don't do that, okay?
More fire.
You must grow. You must become better. A better version of you. Why you kwasi adin wache. Na sa kwadi akasabi. Also what Jimmy kakra yeah. Focus. What is it? NDC for abeyi. Adi na gu.
Thank God for the next contract.
Oh yes, who's the good? Just what they do make you Okatakyie na onya kakra we mama viewership. Next time beba. Don't do wakashege. Eti oyene mesrewa ja enioma na wo ye ni bi why na we yakwasia aboa Jimmy kwasia sante hene ayi asante fo nyina otimi di dinta enano yeso say ayi mkrofo mo sponsor me eni patre ba ku ye ndisi ni na said o see denigrate osika ba ku ye ndisi we tani and still the people otimi di enkranfo si wonu atwa madapa otimi still the people and you see the question of people don't even understand it. There's something called Stockholm syndrome. When people fall in love with their abuser and the oppressor, Stockholm syndrome, that is exactly how the people are feeling when it comes to this guy.
More fire.
But don't bring that nonsense on me. I am above it.
More fire.
If you want war, let it be between me and you.
More fire.
Face to face. Don't go and hide behind social media and say nonsense.
Nonsense. More fire.
Yeah, Kaba e osi Okatakyie be. Me yes what they akoto ni page ho. Say Okatakyie, you see you nearly lost your breath. Because there's one that made them no me. And then crop for any Okatakyie bibi. When this guy meets me one on one, he will shit in his pants.
Precisely so.
I mean, him to say jata. Me come sing. Especially me before. Now who say me nimu ndi dania? It say jata, you are dead. Aya good yo. Na me who say nkrofo mu nimu ne ka kire ne say you don't know the guy you are messing with. Na sa oba no oba yo den sembre wa wo ka no. Busa oba no who I am.
More fire.
Anya kasa keku. Bad boy on the street, knowledge and everything. I am above you.
More fire.
Na nyame na adom ye we ye free street and odi aba ne ye neoma si wache wahene e ma me fine boys am na ada ho la ko bisa Armstrong go mega chiro taifa ko bisa no
More fire.
ko bisa bone mo mega chiro bozi mo ko ka chiro bisa oba baba mega chiro. Don't do that. You are my brother. Don't do that. Stop being a fool. You have to learn some common sense. It is not all the time that you will sit down and this concept of kwasia boy Jimmy. What's that? The next time you do that, when I catch you, I will tear you, okay?
More fire.
Jimmy. Oh, yeah, didn't go for me. I've heard you. Ushu say. There's a movie in the shirt as Bob Brown, you shall red shoe, Bob Black belt, Esha khaki. Just one called Melissa Brown, I'm a one called Daniel.
Oh, can I give you more?
We Muntu Muniana. Why, Mr. Renoir?
More fire.
Me, I don't have a skin. Nagas, I have a tough skin. I don't have a tough skin. I don't have a skin at all. Did you hear and touch me? Eh? Oh, yeah, the mama me won't take him. The time won't take him and say, I wish you were in front of me.
More fire.
I'm a touch of one. Hi.
Yes.
The mama, I dear have me aye. The all year now tears so young. That is what worries me. Me want to me Yeramiana baby me.
Oh, he wants to beat me at tonight. Wow.
Baby, closing remarks, Nyanko. Most you could do say 13,000.
30 points.
And also matter. Matter be. Yeah, my man go for into my way. Amatila. Yanko Sasamna Udino. You can be a fine gentleman when we modu kakra. Kosku kakra. Kosku. What? Shenyansa. What? Santehene no na wo nipa fun we say e de enti a menka kadachi ase won bi junior menka say so kura no nya say wo kan me ho asem a sa na no de mbesi ho na speaker am frame na ho anwan we no so otwa mada pass 2 weeks
Yutimi ya no
the speaker no woni nyansa che speaker no na me maka asem a kire speaker wo na wo ko free speaker so na be frame
achirim all na be chirim say
so mu so adwene nya
achirim ti na ba o mo anfiu no fita
Amatela, be a man.
More fire.
Learn. We have all been where you are before. We've made the mistakes that you are making before.
Precisely. So,
But when you grow up, at some point, you must respect women. You cannot be putting women down, insulting them. Ewa bra wo yire, omuro sa man so. Ebia, men franka. Wo yire no point no omuro sa man so. Don't do that. And go chantron to nkrofo so. And go did your mama no papa no matter. Or in the name of wanting a political mercenary job. Don't do that. Okay? When you have documents, bring the documents. Speak to it. Call on the state agencies to deal with it. Then that's why we will see that you are doing a job. Don't be bringing their mothers and babies and akwa wait me jina ka say first was me kwoti ewu ade achi oba so wa wo se nkramai ade achi which one is which me kwoti na ewu amenti me nwa na ma wo se nkramai. You are being a fool. Stop, these things are trivial. Edamasi. Jera. Yapon. My remarks. And I agree. Any more be here, Mama by you. Mama by you. Mama by you. I told me in a berasi. No way, Rasa, the many,